Hi everyone. Today we're going to use Chat GPT to vice test a Unity mono behavior. We're going to do some prefab loading from the asset database, and we're going to use regular end unit tests, but within Unity, they allow you to load in prefabs. So you can have all of the data that you normally would have on your game object. So your test setup is pretty easy to do. I've done a lot of these videos, so I just wanted to make this one pretty clean, but I'm just taking some untested code from my level up window and we're converting that into additional tests. So I'll kick it off here and we'll send it forward. So thanks for joining, and make sure that you like and subscribe and all that, and I'll open up the code. All right, so we got a level up menu here. This is kind of like the standard kind of vampire survivor-ish stuff. The thing that I tested earlier today was just this level up menu resets skills on start. So this is what's making sure that all of the scriptable objects go back to the way they were. So I'm just adding some skills, making sure that the level of the skill is greater, and then starting, and then making sure that they're all back to 0. After you first level up, then we'll set random options and then activate, and then set menu UI inactive, and unpause is when an actual system has been selected or an upgrade has been selected. So and this is called within the on button clicked event of one of our buttons underneath. So that's down in here. And that's because these have a reference to the outer skill menu that when we want to vice test these things, there's a couple of things that we're going to have to refactor and figure out. But kind of going back to earlier today, what I did was I pasted in the code for the menu. I pasted in an example test where it just asserts a failure, and then it created the remainder of the test. And then I had to clean up that test a little bit. So it wasn't perfect. What I ended up doing was looping through all the skills on the skill datum, and then looping over all of the levels in those skills to test it out. So kind of now the nice thing is that we can create a test for each of these pieces here and go from there. So what we will do is jump into ChatGPT and say, create a new test where the act is the function. So it's going to go ahead and do this. And it doesn't have any context for the actual level up menu items, so we're going to have to see if it knows enough or if we need to give it more context. Because unfortunately we can't test any additional easy. Well, let's bring it into our editor and we'll tinker with it. Okay, so mock game event. So we don't actually need, because we're loading the prefab, we know we can get the game event. We don't have to set that. And do we even have a on level menu shown? Is yes. So we're raising that. So we can test that side effect just by doing like register. No, add listener. And this thing can now do an assertion, or maybe increment a counter of some kind, and then we could do that. So we could just say like list of string calls to on level or events see. Event list new list of string. Hopefully from generic collections and not from, yeah. So now we can just add to the event list dot add, and we can say something like just the name of this. So we know that that in there. It's inaccessible due to its protection level. So unfortunately, we're going to make these public for now, which I think is fine. These are just the game events that are on here. They're already serializable before. Now it says first object. So we need X in here. Whoops. A value of X to pass in, and let's see. So we're going to add a listener. Yeah, I thought it was going to be register listener, not add listener. So let's change this to register listener with an action. Oh, we don't need X. Okay. Okay. So now I can just assert what's in here and figure out what that's about. So assert dot r equal dot count 1, right? So assuming the class was refactored to have a greater for scale, a getter for the scaled indices, selected indices. All right, we don't need any of this. We'll not worry about that. All right, well, we'll have to start from here. So let's give this a shot in Unity. And then we'll add some more of the side effects as well. That passed. And now we can kind of add additional calls in here. We can check the cursor visibility, the time scale. So let's see here. So we can take our new test and we can say, here is my version of the test. Add assertions for cursor visibility, setup and assertions for cursor visibility, time scale value. What else can we do in here? And whether the menu is active. I like how it compliments me. It says, your test looks good and register the callback on level menu shown. Event, check if it was raised. Nice. That's hilarious. Okay. So we're going to just go ahead and replace our test with this one. Let me see here. So time scale, cursor. Okay, menu UI is not public as well. Yeah, we're gonna just make all of these public for now because we can access them and so we're gonna check that. We're gonna check the visibility. Actually, maybe what we need to do is to set the time scale to 1 and the cursor visible to true. But we can, I guess we can just update ourselves. So this one is going to be cursor visible equals false. And then just true. And then we're going to say time scale equals 0. And we're just going to say r equal 1. Basically saying that, oh, and in fact, they should be 0 and true. So we're going to say 0. Okay, so we're going to check the this is just going to be inactive on the prefab initially, and so we're just going to say true. And we can get rid of that. And then we can clean this up. All right, let's give that a shot. I am more interested in the values. We're passing. So I'm gonna just give it my test again. Here is my version of the test. I think we need to start opening up our level up buttons. I'm gonna make these public as well, just so that we can interact with them from the test for now. We'll worry about that in a second. And then I'm just gonna say also here is the level up button class. And really what we want is now what can we check? Button length dot count index equals that. Yeah, so it's gonna grab 3 random skills. Let's see, assert that 3 random skills were selected as well. All right, we'll go back again. Replace this. Yeah, so really the skill could just be the name. And then this guy is see, selected indices. Skill data. That button. Skill manager. I think we just got it from the buttons. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and in our assertion, we can just say menu dot buttons. And we don't even need that. And so it will have 3 different skills there. It'll be random every time. But maybe I'll save testing the random later some other time. So that passes. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. Let's stop that. Oh, so yeah, in our assertion. So in the production code, I know we didn't see it fail, but if I, for example, just didn't worry about resetting the index here and just added this. Oops, we just crashed Unity. Well, that's fun. Let me pull that back up. The Unity problem report. I was definitely doing a few things at the same time there. Loading. I'll be back up in no time. It'll be fine. It didn't register the new unit tests and then crashed somehow. All right, so hitting this. Still passed. Okay. I don't think we reloaded or anything. I think it just like lost the thread. So then contains. So this would prove that we'd have like non-unique values if it ever failed. Really? It's interesting. Selected indices. So we clear it if the count is less than the length. While the count is less than the length, grab a random one. Then for each button, loop through it for the selected values. So I mean, technically this should eventually hit a point where they're equal, but I don't see it. Menu buttons, select, skill, dot name. So this is like button dot name. That's because the buttons are named different. Skill. Yeah, here we go. So it was good that we checked. All right, so this is just saying that each of the skills have different title texts randomly. Apparently that doesn't like it either. Title, description, level text, menu, title text. You go real quick and look at the level up menu and the level up button. So the skill, so it's the cached options is what we want. So I'm just gonna make. I really do want the test to identify this. So title text. So this is going to be the title text on a skill data. And that should be different each time. So we'll see here. Yay, okay, it failed. And that's because, yeah, there were only 2 that were unique. And then now we can prove that this code actually ensures unique values every time. Okay, there we go. We proved uniqueness of the skill button, the different selected values. We can write some tests for the button themselves later. We have the timescale, visibility, all that. So I think we're good. Be sure to like, subscribe, and that was using Chat GPT4 to write the tests for us as we gave it feedback and made some edits. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.